Told you guys, man, it's in this room. I believe in it. I really, truly do. I believe we have every opportunity to take the next step, okay? One thing we got to do is we got to stop waiting for somebody else. Take it upon ourselves. Take it upon you, okay? Take it upon you. Please, take ownership, all right? Hey, you know, sometimes in this game, we play the game for specific reasons, okay? And sometimes we play it for our family and for our loved ones.
This ends what has been a class week for the Washington Redskins and Doug. Redskins are the world champions.
Our new head coach of the Washington Redskins, Coach Ron Rivera.
Hey, chance, baby, let's go!
Yes, sir! Washington changed its culture, changed its name, and went from picking second in the draft to finishing first in their division. The Washington football team has won the NFC East.
What's up, everybody? What's good, and welcome to our first ever pre-game show of the HOGside, where we go live on Sundays before the actual game, get ready for the game, and just talk about what is to look for during the next game. So, without further ado, I am CJ the Hog. This is DMV the champ Brian, and this is the HOGside, guys. Brian, what's up, man?
Man, what's going on, bro?
It ain't nothing, man. I'm all right. What's going on with you, brother?
I'm out right now, but I'm here.
Yeah, no, I see you, man. I see you. So, I mean, let's
Can
just
you
get
hear me
cracking.
clearly?
Yeah, we can hear you. Can you hear me?
I mean, you sound a little low. I got my volume all up.
All right. So, are you able to hear me? All right. So yeah. So let's get it started. All right. So here is who is inactive for this game. De'Ami Brown is out. Sam Cosmi is out. Curtis Samuel, he is out. William Jackson, he is questionable. Brandon Scherf is questionable. Cam Sims is also questionable, and Cornelius Lucas is questionable as well. Who we will be seeing on the field is Terry McLaurin, Wes Schweitzer, Antonio Gibson, and Ricky Seals-Jones, along with Danny Johnson and Jace Sternberger, the new tight end that they have added to the practice squad. So we'll be seeing Jace Sternberger for the first time on the field this season. So I don't know. How do you feel about that? The new tight end Logan Thomas is still out. You still got Bates, and then you got Ricky Seals-Jones leading the forefront. So, Champ, how you feel about that right now?
I have no problem with it. I mean, I don't know too much about the guy Sternberger. I just know he came from Green Bay. They might use him for blocking purposes to run the ball. I think he'll probably do that, most likely for blocking. But if the dude can stretch the field, if he can catch, I'm down to see what's going on. But for what I know, he might be as an extra line, probably considers an extra lineman for packages or something.
Right. Okay. All right. So on the Denver side, there's only one person out, that is Mike Purcell. But everybody else is active at 4 o'clock later on today. Von Miller is questionable with the ankle injury, and Jamar Johnson. So it looks like it's going to be a game.
I hope Von Miller does not play today. Just rest up, my brother. Rest up.
Yeah,
let's today.
Hope. Let's just hope, right? Let's hope. We're hopeful. We're hopeful. So, I mean, there's been a lot going on throughout the last week. So, There's been some things going on throughout the last week. So let's pretty much let's dive into it. What are the keys to victory for this win? Like, what exactly is the keys to victory for this to win for us to win this game at 4 o'clock against Denver?
Keys to victory. Getting Denver's offense off the field on third down is going to be critical today, because you playing another check down king type of quarterback. So we need to try to get them off the field. The defense has been, to me, like I said, slowly progressing for the past 3 weeks against good quarterbacks. They've been getting sacks and turnovers. So if they can still be optimistic and make some plays and to give the offense more chances, it'll be cool.
Right. So let's get down to the keys to victory. The first one is Heineke has to play smart. Taylor Heineke cannot force plays, like we've seen last week against Green Bay, and we have seen throughout the season as well. We get that those are 50-50 balls, but those type of passes that sometimes you just have to throw away. You got to throw away and not try to actually, make an actual play. So the next key is Scott Turner has to expand the offensive playbook. I mean, I know how you feel about Scott Turner right now, champ. I know how you feel about Scott Turner, but at the moment right now, is something has to happen with this offense. This offense has to be more creative, has to be unpredictable. We've seen little glimpses of unpredictability, with Scott Turner, some of the plays that he has calling throughout the season. But you have to expand the offensive playbook. You cannot be predictable, especially with this tough defense that the Broncos is bringing in the Mile High Stadium. So, I mean, I don't know. Like, how do you feel about this offense? I know how you feel about Scott Turner.
I was about to say, you know how I feel. I mean, me and you different opposites on it. I just feel like our scheme, offensive wise, is what we're not. I'm trying to find the correct word. What I'm trying to say is our offense with Scott Turner, we are not a run first team, and I feel like the team is really are built to run first. And it's like, I don't understand. You have a running back that's averaging 5 yards a pop, and you decide to pass more than hand him the ball and run it. It helps kill his clock, and it also doesn't put too much pressure on Taylor Heineke. He can sit there and make his plays and do his game. It won't be forced for him to drop back down there 40 something times to throw the ball. It just don't make sense to me. And I've been saying that since preseason. And I know you gave him the benefit of the doubt because you like some of the trick plays he does. I give it to him. He gets a little creative. I give him that. But as wise as just really calling the plays and execute and make sure it's run good, it just his decision making when calling plays are just very questionable.
No, right? Yeah, I definitely agree. Like I said, his level of play calling hasn't been the best so far, But what I do like is he's trying to see what plays work, but the plays that does work, it just feel like these plays just disappear throughout the game. So it's like you'll see a trick play in the first game. You see a trick play in the first game, and then in the second game you don't see that same creativity. And then the next game you'll see a good offense in the first quarter. Then you don't see that same type of offense throughout the rest of the game. And it's just the inconsistency for me. So, like I said, this offense has to expand the playbook with this defense that we're coming up against. And so, I mean, I don't know. I guess.
But let's be honest, though. Let's be honest. The only thing I can give Scott Turner credit about is, and it also might be due to Taylor Heineke as well. The offense is not ranked at the bottom. You know what I'm saying? You got to forget, for the past couple of years with Alex Smith and Jay Gruden and all this what's going on, the team was at the bottom, like 30, 31 for offense for the past couple of years. So now we're like in a 20, I think we're 20th or 22. So that's a slight step, a bump up compared to last. That's just me being a positive aspect of it. But I just feel like if this team actually has a scheme and a quarterback, I mean, like a quarterback who got an arm to throw some of these bomb passes downfield, like they want to claim they want to stretch the field, but they really don't. It will be okay. But as of right now, I'm just like, man, just try to run the offense that's built strong enough to your team. We are supposed to be a defense, run slow clock team. Like, we're a running team. The team is built to be ran. And they trying to make it seem like we're the who the hell? We're the New Orleans Saints. Like, we're going to spread you out 4 wide receivers, and that's not who we really built it for. We're not. We're a run team.
I agree. I definitely agree. No arguments here. You know, I definitely think that, like I said, the playbook has to expand a little bit. You know, you got these talented wide receivers, you have these talented running backs, and they're not being utilized to their biggest potential. Like, we seen what Jared Patterson has to offer, and it boggles my mind to not see Jared Patterson involved inside of the actual play scheme. So, you know, that goes to where, you know, I get that you got J.D. McKissick, but he can only run plays but so many times. So you have to utilize, you know, Jared Patterson for what you brought him in for. You brought him in for his elusiveness, his power, the way he runs, the way his speed. That's the reason why you brought Jared Patterson in. Why aren't you using him? So in this game, I hope to see a little bit more of Jared Patterson than what I'm usually used to not seeing. So, I mean, you know, this kid broke records, you know, at the University of Buffalo. So, I mean, he broke records, he set records. So, you know, I'm like, you know, just let the kid do what he does best.
I agree with you on that.
And
I agree with you on that.
Yeah, you know, it's just crazy because we talk about Antonio Gibson and we talk about his transition.
Okay.
We talk about his transition from wide receiver to running back. And at first, you know, a lot of people laughed at the transition. It's like, do you really think that this transition will work? And you see that this transition is sort of working now. You know, where he can be a running back with his size and everything. He can be a running back, but you have to utilize him for whatever type of play scheme or offense that you want to run. If you want to run him as a screen running back, run him as a screen running back. If you want to run him like the Chargers is utilizing Eckler, where he can become a screen running back, but he also can be a power back for you, then that's what you create your offense to be like. But what this offense has been playing like, it's been predictable. It's been predictable. Like,
now, let me ask you another question. I have a couple questions. My first question to you is, do you think, because I heard this early this week from some random fans on the Brian Mitchell show, some old guy was thinking, like, you know, maybe it's best for them to put him back as a slot wide receiver or put him back in wide receiver, because it's like, I kind of agree with that with that caller. I kind of agree, because this is like, he's not durable for me. And it's like, it's like he has the potential to be a number one running back, but you know how I am. I'm more of a guy like, dog, you're not even dependable. Like, you're hurt every single week and you're getting less carries. He's averaging no more than 15 carries now, 13 carries. It's like he's losing carries now because his body can't hold it. So I'm like, dog, we need to get out. I kept screaming, we need a legit running back. We need a dude who can pound around, who can take it, who's dependable. I kept screaming Kareem Hunt. I feel like he'll make that offense better. And then I feel like Gibson right now should be playing McKissick role. He needs to be a third down back. I just don't feel like he can take all the beating and punishment and the bruising. I feel like that's what's holding this kid back, and it's frustrating.
Well, that's what McKissick has been has been good at in his whole career is
Yeah, but we don't
being
have
that guy.
a number one.
I know that is true, and we have seen throughout the week that Washington has been working out a few running backs. One of them being Kerryon Johnson. I mean, listen, Kerryon Johnson, he has this injury history where it didn't really work well in Detroit, right?
Dude, it's not
And
even that. That's a never injury prone player.
yeah, that is true. That is true.
Stop bringing him in.
That is true. That is true. But here's the thing, though. We asked for a guy who could pound the rock, right? So at this point, I hate to say it, instead of trading, right? I know. Stop being cheap. I get it. Stop
No,
being
I
cheap.
want to hear what you about to say, bro. Go
But
ahead.
I think that Kerryon Johnson, with this offensive line that we have, that he actually didn't have in Detroit. We've seen the dumpster fire when Kerryon Johnson was there. He didn't really have offensive line there. So now with this offensive line that we have, I think that for a power back, Kerryon Johnson would be a nice addition to the team. But this goes back to what I'm saying. We have Jared Patterson. Like, what's going on with that? So, to answer your question though, I can agree with it. Not moving him, not changing his position to an actual receiver again, but I think I would be very satisfied with seeing them run slot running back receiver packages, as what we see with Alvin Kamara, as what we see sometimes with the Saint does with Alvin Kamara. We see sometimes the Chargers with Eckler. We used to see it a lot with LaShawn McCoy. We used to see a lot. We used to see a lot of that with LaShawn McCoy, where they put him in the slot or the outside as an extra slot receiver package. Like you said, I just need to see more of that. This is where we come back to full circle when we're talking about expanding the offensive playbook.
But
And
that also comes to your offensive coordinator know how to use matchups. Like, he doesn't even use matchups.
exactly. So
They just running the play. He just one game, the one game, the Chiefs game. It's the only time he moved Terry around into the slot. Like he's not creative. I mean, he is creative, but he's not smart of using matchups against his opponents like they do against us.
right. And like I said, we seen this is what I also seen last week after the game is I think we finally witnessed Green Bay out coaching Washington as a full on.
Speaking of Green Bay, that last Thursday night game was a very well coached game, dude. I had to hit you up that night.
Yes.
The way they beat the Cardinals was the smartest way, and it was effective, and they had a scheme. You can tell that they looked at very well coached.
12 play drives. Keep Kyler Murray off the field, and that's what you get when you have an offensive coordinator and the coaching system like Matt LaFleur. You know what I'm saying? This is what you get, but I think that right now, I'm just going to flat out and say it. This is what I'm standing on now. I don't think Scott Turner is it. I think that we might see a new offensive coordinator in the offseason. That's just me. I think we might see a new defensive coordinator in the offseason. I don't think Jack Del Rio. There's a little bit of fire here between Jack Del Rio and Coach Ron Rivera. There's a little bit of fire there, so it goes down to this, where if Jack Del Rio is offered a head coaching position, I think that he will take it. And that's just me. So I'm expecting not to see either Jack Del Rio or Scott Turner in the offseason. So
I don't see him getting fired. I just don't.
He might not get fired, but I think that he's going to be offered a head coaching position. So another key to victory is taking advantage of these red zone opportunities.
Yes.
We have to effectively take advantage of these red zone opportunities. In Green Bay, we had 5 to maybe 6 chances to capitalize in the
Even
red.
Troy Aikman said we should have won that game.
Yeah,
We blew it
definitely should have won
again.
that game. Not really going to put all the blame on. I'm not really going to put all the blame on Scott Turner. Scott Turner tried his best, but it just goes along with execution. There was a few guys that needs to be held accountable for not executing those red zone opportunities. Taylor Heineke is one of them. Terry McLaurin dropping the touchdown pass. Got to hold him accountable for that. This is the second time you missed out on the opportunity for a touchdown. This is the second time, And then Taylor Heineke, he missed Ricky Seals-Jones with the overthrown pass in the end zone. And it's just one of those things where you just have to capitalize on the red zone opportunities. I mean, like I said, 5, 6 or 7 chances in the red zone against Green Bay, and we wasn't able to score not one time. But what I can say is it seems like Blewett, it seems like he done knocked off that rust a little bit. And seems like he can get things going. I think he only hit 1 field goal so far, So I think he's 1 for 2 in the field goal so far. So right now, I don't know. How do you feel about Chris Blewett? I know you seen like the first time he kicked it very low against Green Bay, but here's the thing: I expect it because, like you said, he hasn't really played. He hasn't really played since college. So I expected the first kick to not be great, right? It's sort of those.
But that wasn't his fault. If the kid got blocked, that's not his fault.
But I mean, it kind of is his fault if he kicks it real low. There's a trajectory where when the field goal is kicked, and the way you kick it is the way you keep it from being blocked. We seen the same thing happen with Mason Crosby. That kick was very low. Very low. The kick was very low. So, like I said, I expected for his first field goal to not go well because he hasn't played in so long. But now I think that, after the first miss, I think that it was a reality check, and I think that he will be okay. So I just want Washington fans to not be so judgmental on this kid yet.
He made the 45-yarder right straight down the middle with ease. Like, he kicked that with ease.
Yeah.
I just feel like those both kicks that you mentioned, and I feel like it's the way to control it is the guys up front, and somebody they squeeze right between our linemen and blocked it as he was kicking it.
Yeah, but just like I said, it's like the way you kick it, it's because the same thing happened with Mason Crosby, like right afterwards. They got into the red zone after they blocked Chris Blewett's field goal. Green Bay got to the red zone and they was kicking the field goal, and Mason Crosby, he got his block hit. He got his kick block. So, it was one of those things where sometimes, I just expected for him to not make his first field goal. So, that's basically what I was expecting. But I think that he'll be okay. I think that he will be okay. And I think that, that 45-yarder right down the middle, with the wind, with the wind, might I add. And he still had a lot.
I feel like this also needs to be a game Taylor needs to bounce back in right now, because sad to say, Dallas is running off with the division very early, easily.
Yeah.
And we need to step up, and if we want to still compete in it or still be alive in it, somebody's going to have to wake up and show up today. And we need that from our coaches. That's just plain and simple. The red zone
Right.
opportunities, like I said, that Green Bay game was just embarrassing. He didn't even decide to. He went for it on mostly all of them. Didn't decide to even kick the field goal, take points when we could have kept those field goals would have added up. We could have kept the game close. So I don't know. That comes. I feel like that falls down on coaching and also execution from our quarterback and the offense.
Yeah, definitely agree. So without further ado, we do have a few special guests that we're going to have on today. We have Zach. He is the founder of Velocity Sports. He's going to join us today to talk about what is to see against Washington versus Denver. And we also have right now that is ready to come on Capo. He was here with us 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago on an episode, and now we have him back. D, what's up, man?
Hey, Wayne.
Hey, what's going on, fellas?
What's up, man? How you feeling?
Man, y'all got to pardon me this morning, man. I'm sorry I'm being ghetto. I haven't ate all morning. I've been ripping and running. I'm eating breakfast, so please bear with me. Just bear with me.
Hey, man, look, either way. So, listen, this game starts at 4 o'clock. We in Mile High Stadium. The altitude is a little bit different. So, what do you think is going to happen in this game? Like, what do you want to see in this game?
You know, everybody said we about to get spanked.
Honestly, man, I feel like this game shouldn't be that difficult for us, man. You know what I'm saying? Because right now, Teddy Bridgewater is banged up, man. You know what I'm saying? And if the defensive line could play the way they played last weekend, I think, you know what I'm saying, they should be able to take advantage of that. You know what I'm saying? I've been seeing defenses get to Teddy Bridgewater. So if we can do that, you know what I'm saying, I think it should be a more competitive game than we really think. You know what I'm saying? But you just never gonna get from us from week to week. You just never know. You know, it's no consistency. You know what I'm saying? From what I'm hearing, you could run on Denver's defense, but Gibson banged up. He fumbling every week. Ron act like they don't want to run Patterson, so I don't know what they're gonna do.
I was just talking about that.
All right, now let me ask both of y'all a question. How y'all feel about these trade rumors that they keep tagging us in that I know we're not going to do?
Nah, I mean, it sound good, but I know Ron ain't. If he ain't come from Carolina, we ain't doing.
Allen Robinson trade is so intriguing. Allen Robinson and Kareem Hunt.
I've been talking about him for the past 2 years, right or wrong.
Yeah, he been wanting out of Chicago, but Chicago's like, nah.
So here's the thing though, with Allen Robinson, what is the price for him? Is the question. What is the price for Allen Robinson? Because Allen Robinson, let's be real, he ain't cheap.
Nah,
he ain't cheap. Definitely going to cost a second round, maybe a third round pick, and a player, and not just any player. It has to be a player that Chicago can definitely use. And right now, the Chicago Bears really could use a defensive lineman. So that goes to me saying,
you're gonna trade Deron Payne, ain't you? You one of them dudes.
Listen, you're not going to trade. Listen,
I'll trade Brandon Scherf, and that's my man. I would trade him. That's a better.
I don't think nobody is going to. I don't think nobody right now. See, here's the thing. Here's the thing about the Bears, right? I'm just going to shed a little light before I move on. Is that I think now that we're seeing that Mitchell Trubisky wasn't the issue in Chicago.
You'll take Mitchell Trubisky as a quarterback?
Yes, I will. Here's why.
He has a good winning percentage too, though.
I don't think that he was the issue in Chicago. I think it was more of.
I mean, that's pretty obvious right now. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. You see the issue with Justin Fields. You know how I feel about Ohio State quarterbacks, champ. You know how I feel about them, but at the end of the day, I think that I don't think that they played to his strengths very well. So, here's the thing. Is quarterbacks in the offseason, are you going to trade for one or are you going to draft one? Here's the thing. Can you find a franchise quarterback by trading? Yes, you can. But it depends on who that quarterback is. Like I said, franchise quarterbacks are hard to find.
And
They're not
offensive lineman.
they're not nothing easy to go out and get. Because you can definitely hit and miss. We've seen a few hit and misses with franchise quarterbacks, not just with us, but in history. With
When the
Jamarcus
last
Russell.
time we had one though? When the last time we had one?
Honestly, Jason Campbell could have been the franchise quarterback. I think Jason Campbell was a perfect example of a franchise quarterback. But like I said, it goes to this thing where coaching matters. And I don't think Joe Gibbs, I love Joe Gibbs, right? I love him to death. But I don't think Joe Gibbs really, really put the effort into making Jason Campbell a franchise quarterback. I don't.
Nah, I agree because he definitely got better once he left it.
Yeah,
I mean,
definitely got better.
Went to Oakland and balled out and got hurt though.
Yeah.
And well, we ain't see none of this here.
Yeah.
Like, come on, man.
Yeah, right
what
now.
about Kirk though? What about Kirk?
Kirk is another one. Kirk was definitely our franchise quarterback. Listen, people can say what they want about Kirk Cousins, but right now, there's only 3 quarterbacks in history to have 30,000 yards in their first 153 games.
Bruce Allen is what doomed us when it came to Kirk, man. Kirk should still be here, in my opinion.
Yeah.
That's just my opinion.
Yeah. I was, and here's the thing. I was the guy that was like, why would we pay you $89 million fully guaranteed? Why would we do that? And honestly, looking back at it, I probably still wouldn't do it. You want $89 million guaranteed.
But we turned around and gave Alex a similar number.
But with the max amount of years though. That's the difference.
We how long was we paying Alex while he still was like out of it? So look at all the money you put away with that.
Was a freak accident though. Let me say that. If Alex hadn't injured his leg, I think we would have seen a much better Alex Smith than what we've gotten last season. And I'm gonna stand on that. He still checked down King. He still checked 100%. Down King.
But Kissinger got catches right now as we speak.
I think he still checked down King. But like I said, without that injury, I think we would have seen a far more better Alex Smith than what we've seen last season.
Man, that Batman was old. He lacked arm strength. I can keep going. You know how I feel about him, man.
I mean, you can say what
he's a better.
You can say what you want, but he's a better Kirk Cousins. I'm just gonna throw that out there.
I take Kirk, man. I'm sorry.
He was.
I'll take Kirk. I'll take Kirk over
Cousins.
Alex Smith any day.
He was Kirk Cousins before Kirk Cousins came in the league. Just gonna throw that out there. People looking at
Alex Smith?
Cousins. Yes.
Nah.
Yeah, he was.
Nah.
Kirk will put that thing in the air if you let him.
Bro, Kirk. You talking about Alex Smith is check his stats, dog. Just the same Bama son who couldn't even throw 20 touchdowns in a season. Son, how the hell you throw 16 touchdowns out of a complete season, son? He averaged 1 touchdown a game.
It's called wide receiver neglect, man. It's called wide receiver neglect.
Yeah.
You had to call the peoples. His wide receivers had to call the peoples on him, man. They was being neglected, man.
Yeah.
Running backs, Roy Halou got 50 catches messing with Alex Smith. That's the type of offense he had, man. I can't get with Alex, man. I ain't like that move, man. I mean, we should have just
Did he win games on his way because he slowed the game down? He just made the game so boring.
Yeah.
He made the game so boring.
Also, look at it like this, though, right? This is where I'm about to turn a knob a little bit. We gave so much praise to how what Green Bay did against the Cardinals on Thursday. Those 12-play drives. With Alex Smith, we had those 12-play drives. And
We also had Adrian Peterson too.
But what I'm saying is, that's the reason why what I like so much about Alex Smith, because he knew how to expand drives, right? Like, we're usually seeing 3 and outs. But with Alex Smith, like, scoring drive is usually like 12 plays. I'm just throwing that out there.
I can't get with Alex, bro.
I mean, listen, I know how you guys feel about him, right? But there is some things that you can respect about Alex Smith. And
I respect he was a perfect game manager. If I think of game manager, he's the first person I think of. Then it's Teddy Bridgewater right behind him.
And we're not even about to talk about Teddy, man.
Teddy Bridgewater is the black Alex Smith. Let's not do it.
Teddy did not light us up today. I know that. Like,
here's the thing.
Oh yeah, Jerry Jeudy is playing. But I what y'all both said about Benjamin St. Juice, I'm gonna give him his respect for him to he contained Davante Adams.
Yeah,
Davante Adams didn't even have over 100 yards receiving.
No ball skills. He don't go after the ball. He can cover his ass off, but he's just not. You can tell he's not a ball hawk. You know what I'm saying?
And that's what I try to
get.
But
as far as covering his receiver,
yeah. And honestly, that's the reason why we drafted him. And people was like, "Oh, but we need interceptions." Do we really? You know, the object is to not let guys like Davante Adams and Stephon Diggs and those top elite wide receivers to keep them from being involved in the game. And say what you want, Davante Adams wasn't really involved inside of the Denver game until later that game. We didn't see Davante Adams until like the second half. So, and that was when Jack Del Rio decides to switch the field over, where Benjamin St. Juice was checking Adam Lazard for a second and let
that's when he made a stop.
Yeah. And then you put Danny Johnson out there, and I'm like, why is Danny Johnson even covering? Danny Johnson is a kick returner. Always have been. Since he's been on this team, Danny Johnson been on the special teams. Why is he covering? I get that he's a quarterback, so he has to play, but you have safeties that can do a better job. They picked that man apart on last Sunday. Picked him apart. Adam Lazard. Yeah, they threw it to Lazard the first time. It was a holding penalty. Red zone play, holding penalty, back 10 yards. And Aaron Rodgers said, "You know what? We're gonna do it again. We're gonna do it again." Did it again. Lazard dropped the ball. He dropped the ball. And then Aaron Rodgers like, "We're gonna do it one more time on 4th down." And what happened? Lazard got the touchdown. They picked Danny Johnson apart. So this goes to me saying with Benjamin St. Juice, I think that he's going to take out Jerry Jeudy. Jerry Jeudy, I like the kid, but he isn't top tier. So, you know, I think that this should be an easy work for Benjamin St. Juice. William Jackson, he is questionable. He still have that knee injury, so that might be bothering him a little bit. I just want to see. I just don't need to see Landon Collins at safety anymore. If you're going to use him, if you're going to use him as a nickel linebacker, then do that. Do exactly.
Fellas,
that.
give me 10 minutes. I'll be right back. Give me 10 minutes.
Problem. You know, I just need, if you're going to put Landon Collins at nickel linebacker, which actually worked pretty well against Green Bay.
Oh no, I mean he played since they've made the transition. He's had 2 of his better games. You know what I'm saying, this season. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So I mean, clearly this is what he needs to be doing. Like you said, we don't need to see him at safety no more. That's
Right.
done. You know what I'm saying? So like,
right.
the only thing is, I think the issue is him. I mean, he said it out his own mouth. He don't like playing linebacker. You know what I'm saying? But in order to continue to play on this team, brother, you got to get with the program. You know what I'm saying?
I was about to say, you're not here to talk about what you don't want to play.
Exactly. Like, dude, like you got the biggest number on the salary cap. You know what I'm saying?
This ain't Pee Wee football. You don't get to tell me what you don't want to do. If you want to win games, then this is what you're going to play. And if you don't want to do this, then you can sit on the bench.
And once again, this is why a lot of people say they hate him, but this is why, in some way, this is the one thing I do. Like I said before previously, this is why I respect Belichick, because he gonna put you in a position where, you know what I'm saying, where you gonna benefit the team, like you gonna help the team, whether you want to play this position or not. Now, if you don't, we could trade you, or you can go sit down. One of the two. If this is where you play best at, and this is how you're gonna help us as a team, this is what you're gonna do. You know what I'm saying? And that's what they need to have a sit down and talk to him about, if they haven't already. You know what I'm saying? I don't know, but like, you going in the media saying this ain't what you want to play and all that. We're not even trying to hear that, bro. Like, if this where you helping the team at, like, come on, man.
Yeah. And like I was telling Brian, there's been a bit of a, not a big fire, but it's been a small fire between Jack Del Rio and Rivera. And a lot of people haven't noticed it, but the context clues between those two during these press conferences is very interesting. You know, like 2 weeks ago, they was asking when the switch was made, and Ron Rivera made up his mind and said, "Hey, we're going to switch Landon Collins to in the linebacker nickel package." And they asked Jack Del Rio about it. Jack Del Rio, instead of answering the question, he said, "I'm not up here to talk about specific players." You know, that's totally up to the head coach. I'll let Ron Rivera talk about that later on this week when he addresses. And I'm like, you're not here to talk about specific players. You're the defensive coordinator.
It's your unit. Like, I can ask you a question about Heineke, but Landon Collins is under you.
Yeah, exactly. You're not here to talk about specific players. And that's when I realized that there's a little bit of fire there between the head coach and the defensive coordinator. And to be honest, I think Ron went to Jack Del Rio, was like, "Hey, listen, I don't like what I'm seeing. I gave you the reins, I gave you the power, and I'm not seeing the effectiveness.
Right.
So either you do something or I would do something." And Rivera made the decision, was like, "Listen, I think Landon Collins is effective in the linebacker package. I'm not going to change his position, but if this is what you know how to do, this is where I'm gonna put you at.
Right.
You want your stats to rise. Your stats can rise if I put you here.
Right.
You're not effective at safety."
As the head coach, that's what he should be doing at the end of the day. Because
Exactly.
when we losing these games and he looking bad, out of position, and getting burnt up every play, they not talking to Jack Del Rio after the game first. You know what I'm saying? They talk to Ron first, so Ron got to answer all these questions. You know what I'm saying? So Ron ain't do nothing wrong.
Exactly.
That's what he's supposed to do as a head coach.
So let me ask this. This is the question that I asked. This is a statement that I made earlier before you came on.
Mm-hmm.
Is I don't think it's going to be one or the other. We're not going to see one of these coordinators in the offseason.
I can see that.
Yeah. I don't think it's either going to be Scott Turner or Jack Del Rio. And to be honest, I'm more leaning towards Jack Del Rio. I think they're going to give Scott Turner another grace year, you know, to be able to build this offense, you know, through the free agency and the draft. It wasn't a good fit with Curtis Samuels, obviously, with the injury thing. Looked like it was a waste of money. But right now, I think Scott Turner is more likely to stay here than Jack Del Rio. And I think Jack Del Rio will not be here in the offseason just because there's just some things that I see. And what I see is I don't think that Jack Del Rio is the perfect fit anymore. And I think Ron Rivera is starting to see that. So I don't think Jack Del Rio will get fired, but I think that somebody will offer him a head coaching position or somebody will offer him a defensive coordinator position somewhere else with a bigger contract.
Man, I'm trying to figure out who will offer him a head coach. I mean, based off the talent that he's working with right now, like you underachieving, man. Now I could definitely see getting another defensive coordinator job because you know the buddy system is real in the NFL. But look at Joe Burry right now. Joe Burry never had a good defense. So
I mean, what I can respect about Joe Burry right now is that he's using the players that he has. And Green Bay has a lot of injuries on that defense, but he's still able to bring out the best in the guys that he has on that defense. And I can only but respect Joe Burry. You know how I feel about Joe Burry. Joe Burry, listen, you was a dumpster fire here in Washington. He was a dumpster fire here in Washington.
I don't even know how.
But he has better talent in Green Bay than he ever had when he was here. Yes. We didn't have that D line.
Check this out. Did he not? Did Green Bay not have their best defensive game Thursday when he wasn't there though?
Yeah, that's facts.
I mean, look what he did though. I mean,
that's fact.
Granted, Hopkins was hurt, but still. You know what I'm saying? That is all the Green Bay games I seen. That was the best defensive, because last week, let's be honest, we was going down the field on them peoples. We just couldn't finish in the red zone at all.
Yeah.
But we was going down the field. That was no problem.
We should have won that game. I said that.
That game should have been won. Like I said, there should be no reason why we're in the end zone 5 to 6 times and didn't score not one time. Not even a field goal. Not even a field goal.
If he would have kicked those field goals, the game would have been close.
Man,
but
Terry,
here's the thing though.
Lost my mind, man.
Yeah. What I do admire about Ron Rivera, what I haven't seen in a long time, is the gutsiness.
He's a gambler regardless.
I applaud going forward on fourth down.
Riverboat Ron, man.
Yeah, it's like, listen, I wouldn't have necessarily went for it on fourth and 2 when we could have just kicked the field goal. But I mean, hell, listen, I got to put points on the board. 3 points ain't going to cut it.
I mean, when you playing Aaron Rodgers and Lambeau, yeah, you need to get all the points you can get. And like you said, 3 ain't gonna cut it. Like, nah, we can't do that.
It's not. You know.
But be honest, that was let's just be honest though. From me watching the games, that defense, that was like the best defensive game our defense played in a long time. And it has been in this season.
Defensive line. Defensive line.
That's what I'm saying. The defense is progressing every week now. I'm paying attention. All the good quarterbacks they've been playing against, like some really good dudes,
defensive line.
Turnovers.
Benjamin St. Juice has been doing good. Just throwing that out there. I'll give Benjamin St. Juice props. But everybody else on that coverage needs to do better. They got to do better.
But like I said, I see the defense progressing a little bit. I see the defense progressing. And like I said, if the defense is giving the offense opportunities, it comes down to your boy Scott again, making the correct calls to put us in the end zone. He's shaky with it.
But here's the thing, though. What I'm starting to respect a lot is Jamin Davis. Jamin Davis.
He's been playing
a lot better. He's been getting a
Nah,
lot better.
I've seen him the past 2 games. I give it
Yeah,
to him. I'm
he's been
not
getting a
going.
lot better. And everybody was like, "Oh, what I'm saying, we could have just drafted another first rounder than to go on to get Jamin Davis." And I'm like, "Well, here's the thing. Let's be real. I don't think there was no other linebacker other than Micah Parsons that was ready to come out and start. And the only reason why Micah Parsons is so effective right now is because he was drafted inside of an already established linebacker core.
Yeah, and but y'all remember that's what I was saying. Like, I don't know if his play was just due to him not being able to play, or if it was just the company that he's surrounded by. You know what I'm saying? It's
Yeah,
not a very good linebacker crew.
Cole Holcomb is good, but
Yeah,
you need a linebacker core. You need a company to help you be effective. And a
yeah,
lot of people compare Jamin Davis to Micah Parsons, but it's easier for Micah Parsons when you got Jalen Smith and Leighton Vander Esch, and you just have a whole linebacker company there with you.
That's correct.
It's,
At the same
it's a
time, I agree with
difference.
you on that.
It's a difference. But when you are the lone wolf, and when you have a guy like Cole Holcomb putting his all out there, and you got John Bostic, you have Kaliki Hudson, you have James Smith Williams. This is what you get. So I think that we're starting to see Cole Holcomb and Jamin Davis complement each other very well. And I think that we just need one more linebacker. And while we're talking about the linebackers, we're going to talk about this trade deadline, right?
I'm listening.
The trade deadline is coming up. So who could be traded and who is likely to stay? I tell you, there's two linebackers that is on my radar right now that I would trade for. First one,
Cool.
Bud Dupree.
Okay.
Bud
he in
Dupree.
Tennessee, right?
Yeah. Bud Dupree isn't being utilized to his full potential. But that's because they already have an established linebacker core. So
Right.
Bud Dupree signing was just a fill-in. Just a fill-in roster spot.
Right.
Okay. So Bud Dupree is one. Who's the other one?
The second one is, you might not like it. You might not like this one. Is Baker, Jerome Baker from Miami.
Yeah, I don't know enough about him, so
Yeah,
I
Jerome
can't even.
Baker from Miami.
I thought
And I think Jerome Baker might be an addition to the Tua trade. That's why I'm going with it.
Tua.
Yeah,
Man.
let's be real. If this trade with Tua really happens, I think that we need to add another linebacker into this. And I think right now, Jerome Baker can be a very nice addition to this linebacker core. I know how you feel about Tua, but here's my thing, right? Here's how I feel about Tua, and there might be a little bit of bias because I'm an Alabama fan, right? But
Hey,
I'm an Alabama fan. But I don't think Tua was given the proper tools to be great in Miami. I just don't think that he was given the proper tools. You don't have a solid running back. I'm just gonna throw that out there. Don't have a solid running back. Your wide receiver, your starting wide receiver was injured on your rookie year. Just throw that out there. And I believe he still is injured. Will Fuller was on suspension and he's back, but your offensive line is trash. Again, you don't have the tools for him to be successful. Now they're ready to run it. Now they're ready to run him out of Miami for Deshaun Watson.
But see, that's the thing, though. I mean, you want to be honest. You want to be honest. Like, I think Alabama quarterbacks are spoiled, man, because it's like they always have the best of the best at every position. And in the NFL, let's be honest, it's not going to always be like that. In Alabama, you got the elite offensive line, you got elite receivers, you got elite running backs, and you got tight ends. So it's no way for you to fail. But then when you get to the NFL, you're not going to have that perfect offensive line. This way, you know what I'm saying? They tell the truth about it, for real. And look, all of them been bums up until this point where Mac Jones looked like he might have a little potential.
I think Mac Jones is the only Alabama quarterback that I think was a hit or miss. I think
that's
he's
what I'm saying.
hit or miss.
The jury's still out on him and Tua. But I'm saying they don't look like A.J. McCarron and these other dudes. Jalen Hurts, I mean, I like the brother having the opportunity and all that, but
I think AJ McCarron wasn't given a fair shot though. I don't think he was given a fair shot. I think AJ McCarron.
He was with Cincy. There's no fair shot really with Cincy.
Exactly.
The Bengals.
Exactly. At the time with the Bengals, no. Exactly. Thank you for making my point. He wasn't given a fair shot.
But hold on, I have to kind of disagree with you just a tad teeny bit with the Tua jump, because I'm going back and watching some games of him playing, because I've been listening to you. One thing I can say about you, bro, you be having your pinpoint on talent, so I will go back and double check. I got the Game Pass, so I always go back and recheck games. The last week game, he almost brought them back to win. He can play. It just he threw me off with the left hand, and then like you said, the O-line is horrible, because he'll take a 3-step drop back and he got a defensive lineman in his face. So I agree with you on that. But for you to say he don't have weapons, man, you got one of the young top tight ends in the game. Gesicki is there. Then you got this Waddle kid. The kid is fast. Him and Waddle been doing some things. Like if you go watch the game, he's throwing the ball to him. They starting slow.
Let me ask you this.
They starting out slow.
Let me ask you this. You tell me how many quarterbacks survived by relying on one tight end.
Not a lot of them, no. But at the same time, if you got a good tight end, that's a quarterback's best friend. And you should know that.
Yeah. But it's only one quarterback right now who we starting to see that is getting better because they have that tight end now again. They didn't have it for a while. And that's Matt Ryan.
Oh,
yeah. You know,
I mean, but he's going, regardless of what he was going to feed, because who else was outside of Calvin Ridley? Who else they got?
But
he was going to eat regardless.
I think that Mike Gesicki is a hell of a tight end. I think he's definitely top 5 tight end in the league. If arguably he's top 5 tight end in the league. But I think that Tua still wasn't given the tools. Doesn't have a solid running back. I'm just gonna throw that out.
Okay, so let me ask you this question. So you sit here, let's hypothetically keep it a stat. So you think Tua will have better success here than Miami?
Well, let's think about it. You have a better offensive line. You have a wide receiver who has sure hands, who dropped the ball maybe twice this season so far, and those was critical. Touchdowns. Yeah. And not only that, you have some wide receivers who also can catch the ball when thrown to them, and you have 2 running backs that you can utilize in the screen very effectively. And you have a tight end. Yeah, you have a tight end.
Who's the tight end? Anything we got on the roster right now, if you ask me. You know what I'm saying? He better than Heineke, in my opinion. Fitzpatrick is 103, so you know what I'm saying? Tua got the youth on his side. I think what happened with Tua, for real, from all the injuries and all that, man, I think I'm playing timid. You know what I'm saying? Like he's scared to get hurt again. You know what I'm saying?
It's because of what happened in Alabama. That year when he got injured is that same year when all of the offensive line was injured as well. So his backups was garbage. I would never forget that year. But honestly, I will accept Tua, if the trade was made. There's a lot of people who think Tua is garbage. This Washington fan base just think that he's completely garbage. I don't think he's completely garbage. I don't think that he's been given the right tools in Miami. But now that we have an established offensive line here in Washington, that offensive line definitely is trying to make their identity known in Washington. I think that he will have a better chance here in Washington or anywhere that has an offensive line. And I mean, it just goes to say that you even seen that Aaron Rodgers almost dropped the ball because of the bad offensive line. But Aaron Rodgers. So he's going to do what Aaron Rodgers does best, But still, that offensive line just needs to change. I mean, we see how Case Keenum is doing in Cleveland. Let's be real. Let's just gonna throw that out there.
So
Case Keenum wasn't that good.
To get back to the trade thing you was talking about with the linebackers, what you think? How you feel about Zach Cunningham in Houston?
I think honestly, yes, I would definitely take Zach Cunningham. I think right now. I think anybody in Houston is looking to leave.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So if we could get him, I think he'll boost our linebacker. Yeah.
Yeah, I think Zach Cunningham would be a nice addition. I think that the price wasn't be as hefty is because he probably wants out of Houston.
Right.
And right now, it's like, listen, I'm not sure what his contract is looking like, but the contract will also play a big part as well. If you have a high contract, I'm not going to pay a hefty price for you. I'm not about to make you pay a hefty price. But I'll take Zach Cunningham as well. I'm actually glad you mentioned that, because Zach Cunningham can actually, complement, both Cole Holcomb and Jamin Davis as well. But, I just think that in this day and age of the NFL, there's three things you need. You need an established wide receiving core. In today's offense, three things that you need as a whole team. You need an established wide receiving core. You need an established linebacker core. And you need a quarterback. You just need a quarterback. Just do. Or an offensive line.
All in all, the most important thing is quarterback. Definitely need that.
Honestly,
but I'm an O-line. You gotta have the O-line.
I think most definitely you don't address anything unless you address the offensive line. You don't address anything because obviously you see a lot with not only these veteran quarterbacks. I'm not going to throw the veterans out there because the veterans know how to play effectively without an offensive line because they probably have dealt with it before. But these rookies that is coming in the NFL, you can't just bring them into a dumpster fire for an offensive line. You can't.
Nope.
I mean,
that's why O-line should be the first important thing.
Because look at Pat Mahomes was the GOAT until he had no offensive line.
Yeah. And now he's getting hit a lot more. And we starting to see what happens when you don't invest in your offensive line.
I mean, we should know. I mean, up until this year, look what we was going through once Trent Williams went down and he left.
Yeah, and honestly, is what I can respect about bringing over the offensive line coach from Carolina, because he's also well respected as well, because Cam Newton also hasn't been getting sacked like that as well. Regardless of what people might say about Carolina and looking like the Washington Panthers right now. But that offensive line coach has done a very good job with this offensive line.
Yes, he has. Yes, he has.
With Bill Callahan not being there. With Bill Callahan not being there, I kind of miss Bill Callahan. And we see it now in Cleveland. That whole investment. That whole investment starting off with Joe Bitonio, and now you see that every year they would draft the quarterback and they draft the offensive lineman. Draft the quarterback and you draft the offensive lineman. You draft the quarterback and you draft the offensive lineman. And you see that now everything is put together. It's like, all right, now I can address my defense. Now I can address the wide receivers. They did it.
It's a little off topic, but it's still fresh on my mind. So I hear you say you was a Alabama fan, Miami fan. So yesterday I seen Pickett firsthand, like go against my squad. He put up 500 yards. They took L, but he had a hell of a game yesterday.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So,
most definitely.
I mean, I don't know, man. I'm gonna pay a little bit more attention to him to see like this might be, something we might need to do. But he looked good yesterday. He looked nice.
So I'm glad you actually hit the topic on college, right? So here's what I'm gonna do, because now it's time. Hot takes from the Hog. I got 2 hot takes. Here's the first one. I'm gonna get this one off the break. Jack Del Rio is on a thin line. Jack Del Rio is on a thin line. I mean, it's your second season. This is your second season. And let's be real. Look, I've said this last week and the week before that. Let's be real. We won the division last season, but we only won the division by default.
Pretty much.
We won the division by default. The Giants had a massive amount of injuries and COVID. The Eagles had a massive amount of injuries and COVID. And the Dallas Cowboys lost Dak Prescott, and everything else fell with it. 7-9.
I mean, ain't nothing I can say, man. And
like I said,
honest,
you like Brian Mitchell
out of the game too.
Yeah, you like Brian Mitchell. I'm just gonna go out here and say it. I haven't always been a Brian Mitchell fan, but what he said after the Chiefs game is being 7-9 and win a division. It's all cool. We won a division, but 7-9 is not something that you want to praise about.
No,
7-9 is ain't nothing that you want to praise about.
Not at all.
Who wants to say, "Oh, we 7-9, we won a division," and then you got another division who got 3 teams that's 11-5 or 10-6,
But let me tell you,
or 12-4.
I don't want to cut you off, but 7-9 and winning the division is why all of us are like, damn, why our schedule look like this? Why they set us up with all these? That's why we got the schedule we got today.
A reality check.
Winning that division. Exactly, a reality check. Just like you said.
Yeah, it's a reality check. Listen, I've seen it. We only beat two teams that are scrubs. I'm just gonna throw that out there. But we playing these contender teams, and we just don't know how to play football. Don't know how to play football.
I like to listen to the radio after the game, right? And I don't know if y'all listen to Fred Smoot, he just kept, as the fans were, voicing their opinion, he just kept making it seem like it's not so bad. It's not as bad as y'all think it is. It was like he just kept going the moral victory route. We just did this. We could have beat Green Bay, and we did this and this, but we not winning these games, though, man. You know what I'm saying?
I'm actually glad you mentioned Fred Smoot. I'm actually glad. Me and Brian had this talk before.
Oh, Lord.
We had this talk before. And that's the reason why he said it's not that bad. Because he used He's used to things like this. When he was here, it was the same route.
Yes.
It was the same route. And let's be real. Fred Smoot would have been way better if they switched him to safety. Fred Smoot played safety. I think he would have been. I think he would have been much better, much better. But you sucked as a corner. Sorry, I don't care who loves Fred Smoot. I'm just gonna throw it out there. You sucked as a cornerback. You were good in the zone. They should have put you to safety. I've always respected Fred Smoot's zone game because he was there. He knew how to play zone. That's what Fred Smoot was known for. But man coverage, torch every time. Every time. And, you know, I'm actually glad that you said Fred Smoot. And it's like, listen, I'm not the guy who's going to praise mediocrity.
Right.
While we knocked off an undefeated team last season, sure, we did that. Did we come real close to any other team to beating Tom Brady while having the team that we have? Yes, we did. That is something to talk about. But let's be real. This ain't COVID anymore. Well, COVID is still around, but the NFL wasn't really affected by COVID like they was last season. So everybody is healthy. Everybody had a full off season. Everybody was ready to go. So Dak Prescott is back.
Right.
The Eagles still looking like the same. The Giants showing that they can still put a little energy into it, you know, with Daniel Jones, sad to say. But I mean, we're the same 7-9 team.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, bro, you can't keep getting on saying, oh, yeah, we was in the red zone. We were going up and down the field on against Green Bay and Aaron Rodgers. But the thing is, we not putting it together with them. And at the end of the day, we got the victory, though. You see what I'm saying? At this point, you know what I'm saying? I'm tired of the moral victories. Like, it's not going nowhere, man. Like, as you see, look at the stadium, man.
Yeah. And this is what
you can't even get the tickets away no more.
This is what I said. After that stunt with KC, with Kansas City, that stadium will never be as packed as it was anymore. You will never see that stadium packed for the rest of the season. Never. Almost every person was in a seat during that Kansas City game. But you will never see ticket sales like that for the rest of the season. I guarantee you. I guarantee you.
I mean,
and here's why. Here's why. Because one, Dan Snyder. Let's just address the elephant in the room. Dan Snyder is causing these ticket sales to fail. And it's no better being 2-5, 2-6, 2-5, 2-6 right now. It's no better. I think you put yourself on mute by accident.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I mean, you know, it's just been crazy. My other hot take is calling it early, but actually yes. My lady said the Cowgirls game will sell. Division games will always sell. Let me say that. Division games will always sell. It's a division game. Anybody's going to come out to these division games. It depends on who that person is, though. It might be a lot of the opponents. You might see a lot of Cowboys fans in that stadium at home. You know, you might see a lot of Eagles fans, you know, during this home game against the Eagles. You're going to see a lot of Giants fans during this game when we play home. So, the tickets will sell, but my other hot take is college. There's two quarterbacks right now that I'm very interested in college. The quarterback from North Carolina. I'm not sure if you've been paying attention. I'm not sure if you've been paying attention, but there's two quarterbacks right now that that I'm a little interested in college, and it was what's the quarterback name from North Carolina? It definitely had to be Sam Howell. I think right now Sam Howell is. Right now, I like Sam Howell from North Carolina. I think that, in the draft, if he's available, I think we do go for Sam Howell. I don't know how you feel about it.
Sam Howell, the quarterback.
Yeah.
I honestly don't like none of the quarterbacks in this year's draft at all. They all play to me like they're scared. Like I don't get that first round talent in them. I see like second or third round.
Yeah, I get it. But to be honest, here's the thing. I think the difference between this quarterback class, here's what I see with this quarterback class, right? Nobody in the quarterback class will start automatically next season, unless there's a team who desperately need them to. But none of these quarterbacks in this year's draft will get an automatic start. But we will see one of these quarterbacks towards the end of the season.
The quarterback from Ole Miss, I thought he was all right until yesterday.
So my other quarterback is Desmond Ridder. Desmond Ridder from Cincinnati. I like the kid. I
haven't watched him.
Yeah, I like what I see with that kid. I think he will fit Scott Turner's offense. If we do decide to go for a quarterback and we go 2-14, 2-15.
How do you feel about Marcus Mariota? Or do you feel like he's or Taylor Heineke 2.0?
What's that? A seatbelt?
Yeah, man. I'm headed back to the house, man. Like I said, I've been out ripping.
Oh yeah. Nah, you good. So I don't know. Marcus Mariota. I don't honestly. I think if we bring in one of those quarterbacks from the draft, I think Marcus Mariota will be a great fit to groom them until they're ready. But I don't see Marcus Mariota being the forefront of anybody's offense right now.
But he's the type of quarterback that we need right now too, though. He fits the scheme perfectly.
Yeah, but that's what we can get from a lot of other quarterbacks as well. That's sort of what we kind of get from Taylor Heineke. The only difference is Taylor Heineke doesn't have Marcus Mariota's arm or height.
Yeah, true. I'm just like, because we know Ron is going to bring in somebody that's cheap and dusty. It ain't going to be no big dog. And I just keep saying the same shit. We're never going to get nowhere if you don't bring somebody that can really come in. And like you said, I have a weird feeling. Sorry for cutting you off, bro. I have a weird feeling we either going to get Garoppolo or Goff is going to come here between one of them two. And I'm like, dog.
Come on, dog.
And y'all know I'm telling the truth. Ron is going to bring one of them in.
Let's be honest. And I'm gonna switch gears here, right? If we was to trade for Goff, I wouldn't be mad at it. Here's why. Here's why. Hear me out. Here's why.
I'm all ears, bro. I'm all ears.
Nah.
I don't think Sean McVay. I think Sean McVay groomed the offensive line knowing that they were going to get Matt Stafford. See that? See that? The offensive line was terrible last year. It was terrible. God awful. I think they were ranked in the very bottom, as far as offensive line last season. God awful. They always had a bad offensive line, even with Goff being here. I think Goff is a lot better. Then you send him to Detroit. I mean, I think Jared Goff is another guy who really hasn't gotten a fair shot.
What? Man, he could get a better up. He was just with the Super Bowl. They was in the Super Bowl with the Rams, man. Come on, man. He blew it.
Right. You're absolutely right. But did he blow it? Did he blow it, or was it the coaching?
I think he blew it. That's just me. Like, I don't know. I think he blew it.
I don't know. Like, listen, maybe that one season I'll give you that, right? But since then, the Rams hasn't had an offensive line. That offensive line was god awful the last season. God awful. God awful.
I mean,
I agree.
And then hold on.
I personally don't think the Rams haven't been good since they got rid of whatchamacallit. He was the key, hands down.
Jefferson.
No, hell no. The damn running back, man. Ty Gurley.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, I feel the same way about the Chiefs too, regardless of how many points put up. When Chiefs had Kareem Hunt, when you know you got that franchise back, that dog that takes the pressure off of you, and then your defense can just chill, Slim. It makes a whole difference. Period.
So that goes to me.
Ever since Todd Gurley he got hurt and then they carried him, dog. Eckler is cool. He'll never be Todd Gurley, Slim. Like when you played the Rams, dog. When you used to play the Rams, if you're a defensive coordinator, I have to stop Todd Gurley. You had to stop him. Now it just, man, look, just contain them, keep them off the field. He was a threat. They ain't got nobody for me to be scared of.
And out the backfield, he was a threat as a receiving back and running the ball. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you had.
And that's what Sean McVay was running that play action so very well, and that middle was open with their receiver. Slim, he was a threat. The Eckler is no threat. And Sean McVay, that's why he's improvising on different things. Now, the only threat that's with the Rams right now is Cooper Kupp, Slim, hands down. And why you think Deshaun Jackson went out of that jump? That nigga ain't seeing the rock for real. He like, Slim, he has 6 plays out of 60, Slim. That's why he wants to get traded. Like, it just doesn't make sense anymore. They're not the same. The Chiefs are not the same. They're still good. They've never been the same without Kareem Hunt. Kareem Hunt brought that threat out the backfield, and he could run the ball. That scares people, dog.
Honestly, here's what I'm saying. I don't think that it was more of not having Kareem Hunt. I think that it was just that the Chiefs was never successful without having a running back company. And with Kareem Hunt, they still had a company in having Spencer Ware. That was another guy. I mean,
he's no longer in the league. Next.
I mean, yeah, but what I'm saying is three's a company.
Kareem Hunt was that dude when he was with them.
He was.
Dog, the Bama was averaging over 150 a game.
He was. But at the same time, what I'm saying is that you want Kareem Hunt here, right? Kareem Hunt will be very effective here in Washington. But I think that we still need another running back, though.
That's what I'm keep telling you. Right now, if I'm a defensive coordinator, the only person on that team on the Washington offense I'm scared of is going to be number 17. Hands down. Man, and then you got Gibson there, and they don't even use Gibson for real.
And Logan Thomas.
When you playing them. Yeah. If Logan was playing, If
Losing
Logan was playing, Logan's
see that now. That was huge, man.
Yeah.
Ricky Seals-Jones is doing okay. It's not like it's completely all bad, but Logan, we really need Logan back. And Gibson,
he was a red zone threat.
my man got to stop fumbling the rock, dog. Like, it's too much.
He's not a number one back. I keep telling people that he's not a number one back.
Yeah. Yeah, I see it. I see it. I see it, man. Because it's like, come on, dog. And it's always like at the worst times, too, when you look at it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So I'm going to throw this out there, right? Who is the most underappreciated? If you can name some underappreciated running backs in the history of Washington football, who would you say? Just throw a name out there. Here's my first one, Liddell Betts. I think Liddell Betts is very underappreciated.
When he was playing?
Yes. I like Liddell Betts.
I get you.
I like Liddell Betts. I think he was very underappreciated as well. You know, so that was one for me.
Let me ask both of y'all a question, and the fans too that's watching.
Mm-hmm.
Is it true or false? Is it true or false that Chase Young is the next Jadeveon Clowney? He's not like he's good. No,
false.
Chase Young is good. I don't see him elite. Like when you think of Jadeveon Clowney, he's a baller. He's good.
False,
bruh. You telling me Chase Young is better than Jadeveon Clowney?
Yes.
They the same dude to me. They're the same damn dude to me.
Here's the difference. Here's the difference, right?
All right, I'm listening. I'm all ears.
Here's the difference between these two, right? Is Jadeveon Clowney came in and sparked the defense his first year. Chase Young came in on a COVID season. You know, so granted, take it with a grain of salt. This kid will be elite. He will be elite. And let's be real. The Bosa's, I'm just gonna throw this out there, and I'm just gonna throw because everybody keep comparing Chase Young with the Bosa's, right? Just gonna throw this out there. The Bosa's had a company when they came in the league. Just throwing that out there.
That's the thing. Jadeveon Clowney had J.J. Watt on the other side when he was the best defensive player in the league, and he still couldn't get double sacks to save his life.
I'm just saying, you looking at me like that? Nick Bosa had Eric Armstead, Fred Warner,
but this Clowney was there when you had no choice but to double team J.J. Watt every week.
That
man still ain't get double-digit sacks not once in his career.
But hold on, that was the only two guys that was on that defense, though.
Shit,
that defense was solid. They had linebackers.
They had Brian Cushion. They had Brian Cushion at linebacker. Let's not forget that, sir. He's a dog. He was a dog.
At the end of his career, though, I'm just throwing that out there.
Concussion protocol.
Hey, Brian Cushion had a good 5, 6, 7.
So you sitting here telling me you think Chase Young is going to get double-digit sacks? I just don't see it. The way he plays, I honestly don't see it. He reminds me of Jadeveon Clowney. He's an impact player. He's an impact player. I do not see him as an elite player, dog. He's good. Chase Young is good.
So here's the thing,
but not elite.
Here's what I want everybody to understand. This is what I want everybody to understand.
You know how I felt Rockpo.
What I need everybody to understand is that without Chase Young, I don't think that this offense will be as aggressive. Jonathan Allen makes this offense aggressive, right? But that's the interior. We seen how Jonathan Allen is without Chase Young already. We already knew what Jonathan Allen brought without Chase Young already. We've seen it already. But having Chase Young and Montez Sweat, it gives Jonathan Allen and Montez Sweat some load off.
Yeah, I agree with you on that because the dude gets double teamed, but you're not listening to what I'm saying. Style of play. I'm keep telling you the style of play. I guarantee you this kid is not going to get double-digit sacks again this year. He's going to probably end up with the same number he got.
That's most likely, but it's like I said, that's because everybody on that defensive line works as a collective unit.
I agree with you on that, but you're not listening. You keep saying he's elite. You're not going to be elite if you don't get double-digit sacks.
All of them are first round draft picks. So all of them can be elite.
CJ,
I'm just throwing that out there.
CJ, you're not getting what I'm saying. What I'm trying to tell you is there's so many dogs on that D line. Everybody's going to eat. Yes. When I watch the game pass, Chase Young is getting double teamed. He's getting held. He would have already had 4.5 sacks this season, but he got 2 called back against him, so he's still stuck at 2.5. When I'm saying realistically of me watching this dude play, and then when I see Cleveland Browns and I watch Jadeveon Clowney play, they play very similar. Like they impact players. They're going to get double teamed. They're going to get held. They can get fast in the backfield. But you talking about technique wise, I don't ever see that. I really don't see this brother being a Myles Garrett, Slim. You get what I'm saying? I don't see it.
But Myles Garrett wasn't impactful on his first year though. He was impactful as giving the other defensive linemen some load off. But that's what Chase is right now. But I can guarantee you in the next season or two, he will come to that elite status. You won't see it this year because, like I said, everybody's working as a collective unit.
Oh no, man.
Nobody on this defensive line is going to see more than 10 sacks. But everybody on that defensive line will have at least 7, 8, or 9. Guarantee you.
Yeah, if it's collectively. But I'm just saying, me watching it, the dude is good. The dude, Chase Young, is good. I see him, he's making tackles in the backfield, or he'll slow a player down because he's coming their way. What I'm saying to you is his style of play, the way he rushes towards the quarterback, then everything like that dude plays exactly like Jadeveon Clowney. Like, he can be a problem, but if you're expecting him to get double-digit sacks out of a season, unless he's under a certain defensive coordinator who could scheme against him and move him around that D-line, okay, then I'll be like, okay, I can agree with you. But the way that Jack Del Rio and the way this scheme is fit for around him, he's going to be a 7.5, maybe 8 sack guy. He might get lucky if he has a good game. He gets 2 or 3 sacks in one game. I could see him getting a 10. But right now, realistically, he's going to give us probably another 7.5 sacks a game again.
I think it's a bit of a reach comparing him to Jadeveon Clowney, though.
So what are you saying? Jadeveon Clowney is trash?
No, I'm not saying that. But what I'm saying
So who he reminds you? You done seen a full season of him, a season and a half right now. So who does he remind you of?
Honestly,
is it Von Miller? No.
No. Mario Williams.
Damn.
You want to know why?
You talking about the Texas? You talking about Texas? Oh, Mario Williams.
Yeah.
You talking about the Texas Mario Williams?
Yeah. You want to know why? Because everybody was saying the same thing about Mario Williams when he first came in.
Yeah, he didn't get it. It didn't click into him until like the 4th season, and then the Texas had a different coordinator that know how to use him.
I give it year
Mario was had what, 1 or 2 good seasons?
I give it year 3.
1 or 2 good seasons.
Yeah, that's about it. Did
he had 1 or 2 good seasons? That was it.
He definitely didn't live up to the hype. He didn't.
But he was still.
He's good. He was good. I'm not gonna say he was a bust or nothing. He's good.
He was still top 10 defensive end collectively, consistently.
I don't know. I do expect more. Man.
I mean, listen, it's hard. Honestly, it is hard when you have such a collective unit like they have already. It's very hard. You know,
and I agree with you. Like I said, I'm not disagreeing with you on that, but for you to sit here and tell me that we done seen a whole 4 season and a half from this dude. He is disruptive. He is a pass rusher, but I'm telling you, the way his style plays, he's not super technique with his style. And I feel like I know what I'm gonna get for him. I'm gonna get him smashing bammers in the backfield. He's like the type of dude that's gonna give you 7.5 sacks and probably 10 or 12 tackles in the backfield. blasting the backfield. That's what he is. Now, Montez Sweat, I'm not saying he's better than Chase Young. Don't quote me at that as well. But Montez Sweat he's like a playmaker in potential. This dude is batting passes, getting interceptions.
So,
He's consistently getting in the
More
backfield.
productive
so
though.
let me ask you this.
Flashes
So-
more than Chase.
Let me ask you, because like I said, people compare him to Nick Bosa, right?
Nah, Nick Bosa is a dog.
But his first year, how many sacks did he have?
He had about the same amount of sacks as Chase Young. He had like 7 or 8.5 sacks.
He had
Same
9.
amount. I agree with you.
He had 9. He was injured last season. You know, so I'll take that with a grain of salt. With the COVID and everything. I'll take that with a grain of salt. You know, I take that. But that's because you have a collective unit. Everybody is looking to guard you. That offensive coordinator is like, I know that they have Jonathan Allen and Montez Sweat and Deron Payne, but I need you to contain Chase Young. That's their guy, Chase Young. So that's why you get guys. That's why you get guys like Montez Sweat and Jonathan Allen who racks up these sacks, and Chase Young is still held out with 2. Same thing with Nick Bosa. You know what I'm saying? When you got Fred Warner and what's the other guy, the D Ford and Eric Armstead. You know what I'm saying? That's a collective unit there. Everybody going to get their sacks. And Javon Kinlaw. Everybody's going to get their sacks in San Fran. Let's look at Aaron Donald.
That man is you can't even compare that. That man's in the only his own. That dude's a dog. That dude not even human,
right.
Slim. He gets triple team and still gets sacks. This dude gets double team and still gets sacks. You can't compare that dude is a creative player, Slim.
He's disruptive without even making the sack, though. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Like
that's a totally different player, man.
From the center into the quarterback, you know what I'm saying, which is throwing everything. Like he's different, man.
Absolutely.
You know?
But here's what I'm saying though. Right? Aaron Donald is as good as he is because it took time for him to develop. It took time.
Bro, he came in the league kicking ass. What are you talking about?
Yeah, he came in the league and he racked up 9 sacks. Right? The next season, he had 11. Next season, he had 8. What I'm saying is, it just takes time. It takes time for some of these guys, right? And
no, I agree with you. I agree with you on that.
But honestly, with Jadeveon Clowney, I think him being injured, I think he was injured his first season. Am I not correct?
Yeah, Clowney got hurt.
He actually got injured a lot.
Yeah. So that's why I don't want to compare Chase Young to Jadeveon Clowney.
I'm talking about play style. I'm not talking about overall, but just play style.
But you can't really argue play style when you haven't really seen this guy on the field a lot.
The teams he's played on, he makes plays. He makes highlight plays, and he's disruptive. What I'm saying is he's in the part of you know what you're going to get from Jadeveon Clowney. I'm expecting to get about 5-6 sacks from him at the most, and probably 10 or 12 sacks. 10 or 12 tackles in the backfield and some batted passes. Like that's what you're going to get from him.
It was very upsetting because there was a Washington fan that said something similar. Chase Young play style is the same as Markevius Mingo, and I was very upset about that.
What?
I was very upset.
Markevius Mingo had one good season.
Their opinion, but that shit sound crazy right there.
Yeah, I was very upset about that. You know, it's and we're gonna move on from there. That's how upset I was. I didn't even want to go back and forth with the guy. I'm like, you mean the bust? I think he went top. I think he went number 1. If I'm not mistaken.
Mingo was gonna be nice. I ain't even gonna hold you, but I mean, it just didn't work out that way.
Yeah,
and he was with Detroit.
Yeah,
I think the best games I seen him in was when he was in New England for a little while.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, but I mean,
I think right now Chase is on the verge. Chase Young is being on the verge of being in an elite status, and
I hope you're right, man.
I mean, because here's why, right? Here's why, and let me say this: I love me some Chase Young. You know, I
He's
love
a
me some
dog.
Chase Young. You know, I think that, but his first season with 9 sacks was impressive, by far impressive. It was impressive. I just can't put anything put anything else on that. It was impressive. But he's still in the company of first rounders, so everybody's gonna get their sack. I don't think that there's going to be no defensive end who has a full company right now in this league who's going to have more than 15 sacks in a season. It's just impossible.
Chandler Jones. Chandler
I
Jones.
think
They don't really have a collective unit, though.
I think our problem is it's hard to be a fan of this team and at this point have patience. It's like we've been patient for forever now. All right, let's get it going now, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, I totally understand what you're saying about Chase, and you saying like next year, but it's like, God damn, how long we gonna keep waiting? You know what I'm saying?
Adding the 20 years. Adding the 20 years of Washington, right? We ain't even go to the 90s or the 80s. Let's go to the 2000s, right?
Yeah.
You said that we tired of patience. You know who else is tired of patience? Jaguars fans. But guess what? Guess what, though? Ain't nobody out here ready to throw Trevor Lawrence out to the wolves.
But bro, the Jaguars been in the AFC Championship a few years ago. We can't even get out of the fucking wild card. Go ahead.
I mean, listen.
Yeah.
That's what happens when you have an organization. Honestly, I blame the organization. You know what I'm saying? Regardless of what you say, and people's like, but the organization is not playing on the field. But you are what your organization presents. If your organization is shitty, your teams is going to be shitty. Excuse my language, but that's just real. That's reality.
I'm not arguing with you on that.
That's reality. If your organization is garbage, your players will be garbage. No matter if you sign or draft an elite guy, your players will be garbage because you have a garbage organization.
Well, we already assumed about Snyder. What we already assumed and we already thought we might have known is coming out to the light. You know what I'm saying? And you're absolutely right. Our organization is at the bottom. Like, we are trash as an organization, man.
There's no respect with this organization anymore after what's going on. There's just no respect anymore.
When you got the dude from the Raiders, we talking about the Raiders, man. You got the dude from the Raiders calling them out. Come on, dude. Like, really?
Let's be real, and this is something that we can definitely talk about, behind closed doors. Is I solely don't deny that he's in on it. He's in on it as well. So for you to be quickly out here saying that you want to see the receipts or whatever, right. I'm like,
they all with
it. you was in on it, and it's like, man, this is no respect
situation, man. Look, if I'm going down, y'all coming with me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like we all going down.
Yeah, and everybody was so upset. Everybody was so upset because everybody blaming Roger Goodell, because he wasn't releasing the information. I'm like, well, don't blame Roger Goodell. Blame the people that want to snitch anonymously. You can't snitch and be like, don't put my name out there. Like, what?
That's why when you got real legit snitches, You know what I'm saying? Their name is on the paperwork. You can see that. You know what I'm saying? That holds weight. You know what I'm saying? Like you said, anonymous thing. Anybody, me and you could go now and say, look, man, I seen, Snyder got some emails. He had some pictures. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not putting my name to it. So I mean, anybody could do that.
I mean, but so this is what I'm saying is people mad at Roger Goodell, and I'm like, I get it. I get what Roger Goodell didn't. It was like, listen, we ensure the trust of people who come forward. We ensure them the trust that nobody would know your name. So yeah, I gotta keep that bargain. I gotta keep it because I need to know what's been going on in Washington and need to know if it expands out to other organizations, which 9 times out of 10, we know that it does. We know
100%.
that it does. 100%. We know that it does.
But once again, like y'all just saying, there's 32 white billionaires running the office. I mean, running their organizations. It's 32 of them. So all of them going to feel the same. All of them going to feel the same.
31.
Like you guys said, of how it's going to get portrayed out. But once again, I'm not even. I know it's going to sound ignorant for me.
31.
Okay, 31. But it's going to sound ignorant for me. Personally, honest, it's going to sound. I really don't give a shit. I mean, that just me because I'm like, dog. All of them do it. It's like, dog. The Robert Kraft situation, he got a slap on the wrist. Let's just keep it a stat.
Talk about that.
Honestly, he got a slap on the wrist. So like these dudes and ladies, I know the lady who runs the Buffalo Bills, the Asian one. Well, I think she's Asian. I definitely understand what you guys are saying on that. So my thing is I really don't care. Just release it. Let's get it over with. My main concern is once again, I need fans to understand I don't see this team going nowhere till we find our guy. Like Cleveland found their guy. They had that the way they did things, they eventually found their guy. We still searching for our guy. And then when I feel like we have a guy that has the talent, like, yeah, that's plain and simple. We're going to be stuck in this same situation until we actually take a real approach. And I keep saying it. We're going to be sitting here doing the same talk.
Who is Cleveland guy?
Baker.
Oh.
No.
You don't think so?
Kaiser was their guy too, right?
Huh?
Oh. Kaiser was their guy too, right? Oh.
You said who?
Deshaun Kaiser. He was their guy too, right?
No.
Let's see. Who else?
Bro, what I'm trying to get to you.
Who else?
What I'm trying to get you to understand is Cleveland been dog trash for years.
Johnny Football.
For years.
Johnny Football.
They've been dog trash for years.
Johnny Football.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They had a lot of quarterbacks. They came in. They had to keep finding their guy. But you can't sit here and say Baker is sorry. I wouldn't dare say Baker is sorry. The dude can play. They went way further than anybody expecting them to go.
I think Baker Mayfield survives off the effectiveness of the offensive line. Just throwing that out there. We're starting to see that.
Okay, but he's better than anything we have on our roster?
Absolutely. Like, it's to the point. Here's why I said what I said. They are really talking about benching Baker Mayfield for Case Keenum. This is going on right now.
Okay. We know what Case Keenum is too.
So, yeah,
But you keep forgetting it's always going to be talked about quarterbacks getting bitched. Derek Carr was about to get bitched last year.
But what I'm saying, you can't say, I don't care. You choose your franchise quarterback. You don't talk about benching him for your backup. Sorry.
We did that here.
You don't. Who?
Dwayne was supposed to be our guy.
Supposed to, but he wasn't established as the franchise quarterback, though. Baker Mayfield was already established as.
It's because his background and work he done in college.
He was already established as the franchise quarterback. Dwayne Haskins wasn't. I don't care what anybody say. Oh, they drafted him and all that
So
stuff.
you don't think Cleveland have their guy?
No. I think sooner or later they're going to want to move on from Baker Mayfield, and I give
I
it
mean,
about
yeah, that's a lot of teams. Yeah,
no,
eventually, if they find something better than him, there's nothing they're gonna find better than him.
I disagree.
Who is better than what they have right now? He's the best quarterback on their roster.
I mean, look, you see how Case Keenum was so effective.
Yeah, Case Keenum can give you 1 or 2 good games. He did the same thing for us. Next,
Hey, you seen what he did with the Vikings. It all comes down to the offensive line. Is what I'm saying is the point that I'm trying to make is when you choose a franchise quarterback, you under no circumstances you bench him. You bench him no matter how bad he's playing for a one game. You don't bench him. That's your franchise quarterback. And honestly and surely, I think that it happened too quick with RG3. I think it happened too quick with RG3. I think that it happened too quick with Kirk Cousins. I think it happened too quick. And letting Kirk Cousins go, slip out of your fingers. I think it happened too quick. But I think that now Washington is still looking for a franchise quarterback. That franchise quarterback could be Sam Howell. Just throwing that out there. It could be Sam Howell. I like Sam Howell. And I think that with this offensive line, there's any quarterback in this draft class can be effective. Any quarterback can be effective. Not great, but effective. This offensive line has shown that they can stand up to the best of the best. All right, they've shown it. We possibly can see this at 425. We possibly can see this at 425. So yeah, I'm definitely down for this. And you guys know, that this game is at 425. Okay, but predictions. What is your end result for this game against the Broncos?
man, honestly, this is a toss-up game because we can easily blow them out. We can easily keep the game close and win by the skin of our teeth, which I think we probably would today. And I think the kicker, that kid Blewett, is going to win us the game.
Okay.
I'm thinking 2017.
Okay. That's my same prediction. It was 24 to 21, but it was close.
Yeah, it's going to be a field goal game.
Yeah, definitely going to be a field goal game. And I think that we're going to go overtime.
Please don't say that, bro.
Yeah, we're going to go overtime.
Nah, don't do me like that, yeah.
This game is going to go overtime. Here's why. I think both of these teams are very mediocre right now. I'm sorry. Just overall, both teams are mediocre. We've seen the Broncos have a very good start. But it's because of the level of competition that they played. And once they start playing these contender teams, we see that the same thing you see with Washington, that it's just a whole different type of level of competition. So now we see with these two offenses and these two defenses, these defenses where we know has a lot of talent on them. They know that they can produce. But then this offense just have to do something. Both offenses just have to do well. And this will come down to this: who would be the better coach, Ron Rivera or John Fox? Who will be the better coach this game? Who will outcoach each other? For me,
it probably might get us who gets outcoached.
Yeah, for me, I think that this is the game for Jack Del Rio to show that, he is the guy for a while. Jack Del Rio just have to put these guys in a better situation to win. Now, Scott Turner also has to put this offense in situations to where they can put points on the board. Taylor Heineke just have to be better.
I'm about to say he's gonna have to just play better.
Yeah.
Like
He has
play
to play
better.
better. You're in Mile High Stadium, so the altitude is a little different. So expect a lot of mistakes. Expect a lot of mistakes. The
And a lot of
altitude,
players tired too.
yeah, it's going to be a lot of time. You're going to see a lot of those exercise bikes and oxygen tanks on the sideline. So definitely expect to see Chase Young out on third downs and stuff like that as you normally see it. So you guys know what it is. Without further ado, you guys, this is coming to an end. This is coming to an end. We are 2-6, 2-5,
2-5.
2-5. We are 2-5. You know,
And 10
hopefully
games left.
the season isn't over yet. There's a possibility that we can win 10 games in a row and become 12-5. There is a possibility.
But realistically, nah.
Realistically, I think we're going to see probably maybe 5-12. You know,
I hope not. I hope at least go 7-10.
But you guys know what it is. The HOGside is brought to you by Velocity Sports. It's brought to you by Velocity Sports. You can join us every Wednesday, which is our normal podcast. Join us every Wednesday at 7 p.m. Eastern for all of your WFT updates, news, and predictions. We're also trying to go live on live before these pregame shows, like 30 minutes, maybe an hour on Sundays. But usually we usually have only on Wednesdays at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. Make sure you give us a follow. Make sure you guys give us a like. And make sure you guys, follow us. And when you go on Twitter, you will see our link tree, which has all of the links to our podcast. In case you miss it live, you can definitely go back and listen to it on all the major streaming platforms. And also, there's a link there where you can buy our merchandise. Christmas is coming around. So
Yes, sir.
Christmas is coming around, so definitely get your HOGside merchandise, from yours truly. And Champ, you have any final words?
No, man. I'm just gonna try to finally relax and rest now since I've been ripping around this whole morning. But I'm gonna try to relax, and hopefully we can get a W and try to move up, or just see the team trying to improve. That's what I'm looking for, man. I don't have any high expectations or hope. I just like to see us get a W.
Right, definitely. I hope so as well. I also want to give a big shout out to our sponsoring company, which is Royal Elite Travels by the Queen herself, Nashante Keener. If you guys looking to travel for maybe the holidays or maybe New Year's or next summer, make sure you definitely follow us, and we'll be giving more details on how exactly you can reach. You can actually follow on Facebook at Royal Elite Travels. All right, you guys can definitely do that. There you go. All right, if you guys haven't yet, make sure you do give a follow. Okay. You guys know what it is. I am CJ the Hog, and this is DV the Champ, and we'll see you guys later. And enjoy the game.
We'll see you Wednesday. Peace.